What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I am LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Tough loss for the boys last night. Second game of a back-to-back. 124 to 123 to the Chicago Bulls. The Big Cat, big with 46 big points, 10 rebounds. Kept the clutch. Jalen Brunson poured in 24 points, 8 assists as well, right? This is just basically the tale of two halves. Of course, initially, 3/4 of the game, the Knicks didn't have it, right? Now, of course, before I even go into details, Outlaw, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Coach, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live during this LV lunchtime takeout show. Recap from yesterday. Now, listen, after a night, right, to kind of like, get our get our thoughts together. It's a lot of emotions, right? Tale of two halves. 3/4 of the game, we pretty much didn't have it. We didn't. We just seemed out of the mix totally, right? Let's go take a look at the highlights while we talk about it, right? All in all, listen, man, look. We know how tough this league is. Period. And if you don't bring it every night, no matter how much you think you're better than the other team, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. This league is too good. There's too many talented players. Chicago was throwing guys off the bench yesterday who I thought were just average players, and they were knocking down shots. That's how this league is. You got to come ready to go every single night. You can't take any nights off. No one cares if you're on a back-to-back. The league doesn't care about that. And what I saw last night, in the first three-quarters of the game, was a team that didn't have it, right? They didn't have their legs. They were pretty much just having a really tough time. They just seemed to step slow. Chicago just seemed a step quicker than the Knicks. They seemed like a lot more fresher team. The Knicks looked like a team that was playing a back-to-back. Like they were just coming off playing last night, the night prior, of course, against the Sixers, and they just did not have it in the first 3/4 of the game. And of course, I'm going to touch on Towns in 1 second. But I think who the spark plug goes to tonight or that night is Campaign. And this is why I love Campaign, because what he does is he's able to come out and just give juice to a lineup, right? And he said this one time in his interview when they talked about him during the game. That he said one thing you can't talk for, and one thing you can't coach, one thing you can't try to give somebody is energy. Energy and motivation and just a passion to be out there on the court. And I thought that's what he gave last night. And he kind of was the spark plug that got everybody going. On top of Deuce, on top of Mikal Bridges, who I thought played great last night, Josh Hart, of course, and then the Big Cat took over the show. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to mention about him that, kind of hurt us last night. But he came as advertised. The Big Cat was just dynamic last night. Dynamic. He showed his full repertoire of what he can do inside, outside, taking it to the rack, finishing. Also, too, back to the basket. And he gave his all last night. From the start of when we made that run, all the way through the fourth as he played, he did not sit down once. And towards the end of the game, he looked gassed. He didn't have it. And you could see where Brunson started to take it up, right? Of course, he scored those last final 4 points. And, of course, he missed that buzzer beater. That was right down the basket, man. It popped right out. But it was right on. It was right on. It was right there. But Big Cat, man, he was the star last night. He was the star of the show. He was the best player on the court. Period, hands down. And people kind of saying, this is him not playing the 5 and put him at the 4, and this is why you have him playing the 5. This is why. Because of nights like that, because of what he can do to other big men. This is what he should be doing every night. There's no 5 out there that can really deal with him, man. Period. And you see Embiid is kind of like a shell of himself. So With that being said, maybe what, 2 or 3 big men in the league that could really deal with Count Towns at the top of the key like that and what he can do offensively. You got to tip your cap to him, man. Tip your cap literally, because he gave it his all. He left it all out there on the court. And so, you gotta really salute him on that, man. His effort was great. And I think that kind of woke up the guys. And then everybody started playing better after that. He was sensational. He truly, truly was. And like I said, and then Brunson came close to stealing the show, right? Because this is what he does. He's the closer. This is what Brunson does. And I thought he had a pretty good, efficient night, man. Of course, he didn't have it going. He had 18 points in the first half, but, certain things that, I think it was a total team lackadaisical, I would say, just, motivation to play. They just didn't seem to have it, man. So, but this is why the bench unit is so important, because you have guys like Deuce and Campaign that came in and kind of gave a jolt, some type of energy to the group to where they're able to pretty much try to help us steal this victory last night. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to say, I don't like moral victories. I do, especially in an 82-game season. In a game like that, where the Knicks could have easily laid down and just said, you know what, screw it. We'll just take this on the chin and move on and get ready for Friday. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that at all. They fought and they fought and they fought till the end. Came up short, but these type of games builds character for a team. It does. And what I loved most was that you saw the bench guys really giving it all, and then you saw guys like Brunson, guys like OG Anunoby, a whole bench on their feet, cheering these guys on, really motivating their teammates who were really giving it their all to put the Knicks in striking distance to win this game. And in moments like that is really what starts to build character for the team. And I thought that that's basically what last night was. It was a character builder. And then also, too, it kind of gives a check mark, I want to say, to Tibbs and why he's so passionate about not playing the starters as much as he is. He's always worried about a game like this where a team could come back. And in this league, man, with the guys being so great offensively, you have to really pay attention. You got to keep your foot on the pedal until the last buzzer goes off and it's 0 on the clock. Because if not, you could lose a game like this. You got to understand, the Bulls were up 22. 22. And at no way, shape, or form did we even see the Knicks making this push to come back. I know I didn't. What did you guys think about that call on Josh Hart? What did you think about that? Was that a bailout call? Because I thought he hit his hair. But then also, too, I saw him kicking his leg out. To me, that's a no call. And the reason why I said it's a no call is because he's bailing out on a play. Yeah, Josh Hart might have got him a little bit, but this kid is kicking his leg out, man. I thought the league was going to stop with that. When guys are kicking their leg out and all that other stuff. That's what I saw. So Josh Hart coming over, grazed his hair a little bit, but this kid is kicking his leg out, trying to draw the foul. And the refs fell for it. Slim Boggs, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. But the other dynamic, too, is that, Josh Hart shouldn't have put himself in that predicament, man. He just shouldn't have. Right? Because when it's close like that, these refs are looking. And here's the thing, too, like, the refs got to pay attention to how the game is going. You can't bail him out on that. But, Josh Hart put himself in a really bad situation. So he should have been smarter with that. And I thought, if he saw an oppressor, then they asked Tibbs about it. And Tibbs said, nah. He said, low key, he said it. And I said, okay, well, Tibbs knows. Tibbs knows. Now let me show you guys the stats really quick, man. Because if you look at the stat line here, right? And I want to show this to you guys because in looking at the stats, go back here really quick. Sorry, guys. Schedule there. 1 second here. When you look at the stats here, right, it was a pretty even game. Look at the numbers here. The Knicks shot 51% from the field. The Bulls shot 53. The Knicks grabbed 40 boards. The Bulls grabbed 40. Knicks had 31 assists. The Bulls had 31. The Knicks shot 40% from three. The Bulls shot 38. And that's the ball game right now. Look at the next line. 66.7% from the free throw. 12 for 18. The Bulls were 81.5%. 22 for 27. Turnovers 15 to 18, but it was pretty much an even game. Pretty much an even game, but look at the free throws. Look at the free throws, man. That's the ball game right there. That's the ball game. Look at that, man. That's what separated everything. With that valiant effort that we put forth, which I thought was fabulous. That's the ball game. No stats right there. And as great as Cat played, 6 for 12 from the free throw line. I'm going to bring up the stats in a minute because his stats are eye-popping. But that was the one. That was the one. Because then, after the game, this is what we saw.
Tyler Murray, my radio partner, used the phrase spit out on the shot by Jalen Brunson here in the Garden. So that was super tough to see. But I will say this, and I think you guys can see in the frame. I'm going to get out of the way. Listen, this is the commitment. And I think, Pito and Wally, the idea of identity has been tossed around in conversation about this team here lately. And I would just counter that the identity is still very much a team that's going to fight. It's still a head coach that is going to prepare, if not over-prepare. It still is a captain who's going to lead his team and Jalen Brunson and make big-time plays down the stretch. He had scored 18 points at halftime, scored 6 monster points in that, or it might have been 4, but had monster baskets in that fourth quarter. And this identity, the identity of this team is a team that is still growing and figuring it out. And so I thought that the comeback was very impressive as a collective. Lots of good things there. And, of course, the finish tonight doesn't quite fall in your favor. But you keep moving on. It's game 10.
There you go. So you see Big Cat in the background shooting those free throws. He knew it. He knew it. He knew it. As well as he played last night, that was the ball game. Because if he knocks down 9 out of 12, we win this game. And he gets a 50 piece. 50. That's how well he was playing last night. But as we know, if anybody knows, I'm sure Coach is in here. Big shout out to Coach. He knows. Free throws is all about energy, man, and legs. And really kind of being in your groove. If you're tired, you're going to miss free throws. You got to grit it out. You got to go dig deep to make sure you concentrate and you're able to follow through with your legs to make the free throw. And he had no legs, man. He was tired. So that's where the 6 for 12 comes from. But that's the ball game, man. And when you're that great of a player, you got to knock down free throws, man. Those are gimmies. Those are gimmies. But you see, like Monica stated, the dedication right there. You see that? You knew he was tired. But he came out, knocked down free throws. I don't know what his number was. Usually what I used to do after practice, you got to knock down 10 in a row. You can't leave the court until you knock down 10 in a row. That's how it was when I played. So I don't know what his number is. I mean, he's in the league, so it might be 30. He's got to knock down 30 in a row before he can leave. So I'm sure, as great as a player as he is, and what he showed last night, trust and believe he's thinking about those free throws. He don't even care about the 46. He don't care about none of that. He's thinking about the missed free throws because we know his numbers. We know him. 50, 40, 90. We know his numbers. Last night was more like 50, 50, 50. And 50% being from the free throw line. And that's not a good number. And Cat knows that. But we can't destroy him for that. It happens to the best of us, man. But what I love to see is the dedication after the game. He's dead tired, guys. He played the he played the third and the rest of the fourth, but he still found the energy to go back with his ripped up jersey and knock down free throws. It's dedication, man. It's dedication. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And those things like that type of mindset, that type of way of doing things is what's going to propel us, man, to the next level. So I don't want us to think the worst. And, listen, guys, we're 5-6. No, I'm bugging. I got the number right. Wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. We are 5-6 out of 11 games. I'm not even upset by this. I'm not. The teams that are rocking right now in the league, the teams that are rocking are teams that have been together for a minute. Boston's been together forever. Cleveland's been together forever. So those are the teams that are rocking. Most of the teams that are cohesive and they've been together for a while are playing really, really well because they don't need to build anything. Everybody knows their role. The Knicks is still trying to figure that out. Tibbs is trying to figure out rotations, guys' strengths and weaknesses, who plays better with who. You can't just throw a team together, man, and just roll it out there. This ain't a tournament in the cage, man. This ain't a tournament at Rucker or Dykeman or Hoops in the Sun over there in the Bronx. This ain't that, man. You got to really, really build these rosters and really see what it comes out to be. And you're kind of seeing the growing pains with this team. And it's very, very early. We haven't even got the 25 games yet. And so I'm not even close to panicking at all. What I love to see and what kind of gave me a little glimmer of hope last night was the fact of our fight to come back in this game. And we had the game right there. We had the game. Brunson, that was there. That was money. Brunson hits that shot in his sleep. And it literally went down in the rim and came right out. The basketball god said, nah, not tonight. And it happens. But what you got to realize and what you got to understand in this league is tough, man. This league is tough. I don't care how good you think. This league is tough. Perfect example, Boston lost to Atlanta the other night. Lost to Atlanta. This league is tough, man. It is no joke. Look at the Bucks. The Bucks are 3-8 or something like that. I mean, this league is no joke, man. So you got to come prepared and ready to go. So it's no nights off, even Friday. I don't care if the Nets are this. They're still a tough team. Sunday against the Nets, still a tough team. I don't care if we play the Wizards. They're still tough. You know why? It's the NBA, man. You got to come ready to go. Let's take a look and see what Tibbs is saying.
Carl got going. That group played really well. Mikhail did a good job. Josh gave us good energy. So, but we fell short in the end. So,
just overall, how
it's a work in progress. I liked it in the second half. once we realized, we had to dig. I like the mental toughness that we showed to fight, to put ourselves in position to win the game in the end, and we fell short.
So on the foul, on the 4-point shot, did you get him? And where?
Call the foul. Foul. Inexcusable mistake. Got a good screen. Vucevic got a good screen at the top. I was kind of behind. Felt like he had open shot. Tried to go contest it. And yeah, the foul.
So you got caught on the screen? Is that you ended up having to make some kind of play on the ball? Like what were you?
Yeah, it was Zach, Kobe, Rouge all in the line, kind of broke. At that point, I can't be up into him because he's, by half court, so I got to kind of sag off a little bit. And then he just, broke for the ball. Like I said, Rouge, set a pretty good screen, so I'm behind, I'm trailing. I'm trying to go, try to contest the shot.
Did you think that early on was it product of the first back-to-back heavy legs for you guys?
They came in with energy. I'm not going to sit there and make excuses. They played well. They shot the ball well. I think we kind of started turning them over a little bit when we started making that run. But, I think they still shot like 55% from the field. So, we let them get comfortable early. We got a lot of back-to-backs in the NBA season, so we can't sit there and say, we didn't come in with energy because of the back-to-back.
I believe that shot was going in. Did you see it that way too?
Yeah. It is what it is.
Did you get the look you wanted? Did you see the rim? Was he defending it well? What happened on it?
Yeah, he contested it pretty well, but I've worked on that shot since high school, so almost halfway down, but can't really say much about it.
Josh said that this should have been a statement win. That they felt like the comeback, the fight back-to-back game, and all that stuff, and that it wasn't to be. But what was this game then for you?
Just proving to us in this locker room that we don't stop fighting. I think that's a takeaway we can take from this game. Obviously, the way this turned out is not the way we wanted, but we gotta look at the positives. We can't look at the negatives consistently. You can learn from the stuff, but we got to see what we can work on, and then we go from there.
What does that feeling like when the ball doesn't go in, that moment after the comeback you guys had?
Yeah, no, it hurts, especially as competitors and want to win all the time. I think just, Coach came in and helped us talk to us, just knowing that, you can learn from it, learn how we, battle back and, being down, and just kept fighting. So, something you're going to take away from and learn, but obviously we want to win and, for JB to make that last shot, but it's tough, but, we learn from it every day for next game.
So what turned for this team down 22 and all of a sudden 17 straight points, and now we have a game? What turned?
I think just intensity, just picking up defensively, and getting stops. We can't keep scoring with them because they were up, so we won't have a chance. So I think just keep getting stops and getting out. Keep getting stops, and we're sharing the ball, and make a good run.
So you heard a lot of great points there, man. A lot of great, and I let it rock because you really want to get in depth to what these guys are saying and how they feel. But see, here's the issue here, right? Listen, Brooklyn Knicks fan, man, I appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live and my crew. Appreciate that, man. But I have to disagree with you here, man. The guy played really well yesterday, man. It was a big part to that surge as to why we got back in the game. It's not his fault the Knicks decided to give up 5 picks. I don't think he's playing bad at all. This league is tough, man. And you're asking him every night to defend the best guy. He's not Kobe. So I love what he's doing, man. Last night he went against Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is legit. He's no bum. He's just always hurt. But when he's on, he's on. We saw it last night. Tyrese Halliburton's no bum. We know what he did last year, and when he's on, he's on. Then he had to check Paul George, he made it look easy the other night against him and OG Anunoby. So you got to understand who he's checking every night. But at the same time, you want him to come down and still have 20 to 25. It doesn't go like that, man. This league is tough, man. And you're asking this guy to defend the best guy every single night. Every night. And that's tough, man. That's tough to do. So it's like a cornerback in the NFL. You're going to have ups and down games. You're going to have that. So you're going to give up some. When you're playing against the elites, that's what happens. So, yes, he's here to defend, but also, too, people want him to score, too. People complain about his shot. So what is he here to do? He's here to give both, right? So sometimes one night, one might falter more than the other. It's like a balancing act. But I love the fact that we got him, man. I love what he does in all aspects. He's not the same as OG Anunoby. Those guys are totally different players. And what I mean by that is OG is like I said it before on my short. He's like the perfect definition of a 3D wing. He's got the size and the speed to deal with bigger players. And I'm talking about bigger, stronger players. Mikal can't do that. He doesn't have the frame to do that. He's more of a wiry cut guy. So he's going to have problems with bigger, stronger wings. He is. The guards he could do fine with. But if you have him on a regular guard, that's cool. But that's not what's happening. They're not doing that. They put him on the best player every night. So he's going to get cooked, man. He's going to get cooked, and he's going to get cooked a lot. Because these guys are the best of the best, man. The best of the best. So he's going to have struggles this year. He is defensively. And then some games he's going to do really, really well. But I thought he played a great game last night. I thought he did, man. And listen, Levine had it going, man. But Levine is that good. That's why he's getting that much paper. A lot of people wanted him, but they're afraid of that contract. You know why they're afraid of contract? Because he's always hurt, man. But when a guy is not hurt, he is legit. It's just he got injury issues. That's the only problem with Levine. Well, he is no scrub at all. And we saw that last night. So you're going to have nights like that, man. But I think he's going to be fine. I'm not even worried about him. And I thought offensively he had it going. That mid-range is money. Money. And he played a big part in giving us that surge to get back in that game. And so we got to kind of like, we got to just pay attention to that with him, man. He's a hell of a ball player. But you listen, man, but you're asking him to guard the toughest guys every night, so it's going to be tough. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live on this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. Tough loss for them boys, 124 to 123. But but once again, man, I just think it was a tale of two halves. Tale of two halves. 3/4 of it, we didn't have it going. I think 3/4 of it, we were still in Philly, man. To be honest with you, I don't even think we felt like we were back in the Garden. They just was not even there. So I think then he started waking up. The team started waking up, and they started playing better. But I loved what I saw. I love what I saw from the fight, man, after that 3/4 place. Right? But first 3/4, man, I was like, okay, these guys definitely don't have it. But the fight told me a lot. And coming back and getting us right in a position to where we pretty much were about to win the game, man. We're about to win the game. So you gotta love that, man. You have to love that. Let's come take a look at the stats really quick, man. Okay, so Brunson was big last night. Right now, of course, he had 18 points in the first half, right? He kind of started to not really have it going, of course, in that third. 24 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 9 for 20 from the field, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. But what I loved is that when it came to money time, he was right there, man. He was right there. He was knocking down shots. He hit the runner right there to put us up 1. Excuse me, put us up 1. What? No, I'm bugging. Excuse me, I'm getting my math wrong. Put us up 2. 123, 121. That's why he gets the big bucks, man. And that's why he is the guy. Because in that moment, he doesn't freeze up, man. Ice water in his veins. He comes up with big plays, and he had it right there, man. That patent move. And you heard him when I pulled up the screen of him talking. He said, "Listen, I practiced that shot ever since high school." And I thought it was good. And we all thought it was good. I thought it was going in, man. I thought when it went in and it bounced out, I thought it was going to bounce right back in. So you have sometimes it happens like that sometimes, man. That's the only thing I say. I'm smiling because you just gotta love the effort, man, and just accept it for what it is. Tough night, but all in all, I loved how he played. Also, too, guys, I love the fact that when he did come back in the game, he wasn't overly trying to be aggressive. Like, he was still making really good passes, looking for people. He was feeding Towns. He saw Towns had it going. He didn't come in just trying to take over. But when it came to that point, he kind of seen Towns was kind of gassed. He said, okay, let me do me. Let me do me. And I thought that was great from him. Now, this guy, to me, is an unsung hero of the game. We talked about Towns, talked about Coach Brunson, we talked about Bridges, right? This guy, to me, was the engine of that comeback. Great numbers from campaign, 11 points, 2 assists, no rebounds, but 3 steals in that moment. 3 steals. Like I said, he was getting after it defensively. His energy, it just was like, it was kind of like it just spilled over into everything else that everybody else was doing. It was like an infection. Like, it just spread with everybody else. His energy became infectious, and everybody was just doing what campaign. They was moving to the same speed as campaign. And I thought it was great. And then also, too, I don't have it up here. I wish I did. I apologize. But he was 3 for 3 from the three-point line. That was big. He had a couple of big threes, man, that really got the momentum going. And I'm glad to see that he's back. I'm glad to have him back. I thought he played really, really well last night. And he was the engine that really kind of woke everybody up. The spark plug, I'll call him. Great job from him last night. OG Anunoby, I thought he had a pretty quiet night, but I thought he came up with big plays, especially in that fourth quarter, going to the rack a couple of times, finished strong in that Baja, a couple of dunks, right? So I thought he had his moments. But I could tell with him, too, he didn't really have much legs, man. Even when he tried to shoot that jump shot and Jack Levine blocked it, then he went down the court, and then he came down and tried to block the shot, and he got the N1 on him. He didn't have any legs left, man. I kind of saw that with him. But you see his stat line here is pretty decent, man. 14 points, 9 rebounds, right? 2 assists, 2 blocks, 5 for 14 from the field, 2 for 2 from the stripes, man. So I thought solid numbers for him, man. Solid numbers. Thought Deuce was okay. He didn't really have it offensively, but also, too, remember, guys, he's still dealing with that knee issue, man. So off of a back-to-back, he definitely didn't have any legs. His shot just wasn't there. And it makes sense. He played last night, still dealing with that knee ailment, but he was on the floor when we started making that push. Deuce was good defensively, started making a couple of good plays, good passes here and there. So doing the little things out there that can't be, seen on a stat sheet, but he played a big part to us making that big comeback. So the numbers don't show it, but I thought Deuce played really well last night, even though his shot wasn't falling. The man last night, right? He was the man, right? 46 big points, of course, 10 rebounds. Look at the number here. 3 assists, 3 blocks. 3 blocks, though he played great defensively. 18 for 30 from the field. But look at the free throw. Look at the stripes. We talked about it earlier. 6 for 12. New Lord, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. If this is your first time coming through rocking with me, please subscribe to the channel, man. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew, man. New Lord, please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you, sir. But 6 for 12, right? And I played that clip, right? Monica, she showed it right after the game, man. He's trying to shoot free throws, man. He knows. He knows. That's not a typical night for Cat from the stripe. 6 for 12. This is usually like 11 for 12, 10 for 12, even 9 for 12. but more like 10 for 12. He knocks him down, man. So for him to shoot 50% from the stripe is unheard of. We said the stats, right? 50, 40, 90, right? We know that already. But he didn't have that going last night. And honestly, that's the ball game. Right there. Right there, that's the ball game. But exceptional night for him. Exceptional night for the big cat. Awesome game for him. Now, Josh Hart, right? The numbers don't show it, but I thought he was also effective. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 3 for 6 from the free throw line. Didn't get them shooting from the field goals. Didn't get to the free throw line. But I thought his activity with that second unit also, too, played a big part, right? And that's really where he started getting his points, right? Going downhill, hitting a couple of baskets. I thought a couple of them were fouls, too, man. He was going to the rack and he was getting fouled, man. They didn't call it. But, of course, we know he made that boneheaded play at the end by swiping because Kobe White's hair. And they called it a foul. I didn't think it was a foul, man. I honestly don't. I don't think it was a foul. I think you let that rock, man. You let that rock. You don't call that, man. Not then in that moment. But hey, am I being biased? Maybe. But I honestly didn't think it was a foul. I thought he kind of went behind him, but I think what made it look like the kid kicked his leg out. But that's why also, too, that challenge earlier with Deuce, when it really went off his foot, I don't know who in the background wasn't paying attention and made Tibbs call that timeout for that challenge, but that wasn't smart, man. That wasn't smart, and you don't need that in that moment of the game. It was like the beginning of the game. You don't need it in that moment. So I don't even know why you're using a challenge there, right? So, if we would have had that challenge, we could have used it then. But if you saw Tibbs in the post game, man, he kind of, they asked him if it was a foul. He said nah, and he kind of put his head down, shaking his head because he probably felt it wasn't a foul. But then he also probably felt that Josh Hart should have put himself in that situation. And Josh Hart knows it. He said it with the clip I played. You got to be smarter than that, and he knows that. Now look at this guy's numbers, man. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 8 for 15 from the field, 3 for 3. Listen, man, he had a great game last night. Great game. Great game. I'm at the point, honestly, where I feel like, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, correct LV, man. I have no issue with being corrected. It feels like he's never going to really be able to live up to these picks, man, because everyone's looking at him like, yo, we gave up 5 picks for him, 6 picks for him. If he scores 50 points, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. We got to win a championship. He's got to lock down everybody. He's got to play like Kobe, man, or Jordan, for people to say, okay, it's okay that we gave up 5 or 6 picks for him. Like that. That's not fair to him as a player, man. And I thought he played really, really well last night. I did. Some nights you're just not going to have it on the defensive end. Some nights because of who you're going against. It ain't like he's out there guarding air. He's guarding top dogs. Like he's not guarding one of the second string guy. That's the case, and the second string guy's cooking them. Okay, cool. That's not. He's guarding the top dogs. So some nights, I'm sorry, people, he's going to get cooked. That's what's going to happen. So be prepared for the next couple of games or whoever he plays. He's going to get cooked because that's what happens when you're guarding the top guys. We play Phoenix next week, right? He's going to probably guard Devin Booker. He's going to get cooked. Devin Booker's no joke. Right? We're going to play Denver next week also. Who's he going to guard? Probably Murray, right? He's going to guard Murray. He's going to probably get cooked. It's tough. He's not guarding bums. So you got to take some and lose some. You got to do that. He's going to win some challenges. He's going to lose some. He's going to get beat sometimes. It happens, man. But I thought he played well last night. I really did. I think all in all, man, we just got to kind of pay attention to, all right, look, he's going to have nights like that sometimes. He is. But if he's playing well defensively, we got to be happy with that. We do. He's playing well defensively, but he's not playing well offensively. I mean, he's going to, it happens, man. So you see right there, this is our schedule coming up, right? So right now we're 1-1 this week. We got of course, that the borough battle they call it. That's on the embassy. It's not a borough battle. Then they're not even worth like even putting in the same conversation. They're not. So we got them next week. Excuse me, we got them Friday. Then we have them again Sunday, and then we have the Wizards on Monday. So this is all kind of like this homestand, this 4 games homestand until we go on that West Coast trip. So hopefully we can win these next 3 and get out of this little rut. A tough loss last night, man, but hopefully we're able to get out of that and kind of start getting back into the winning ways. All right, but let me go in here in the chat, man. See how everybody's doing today, man. How everybody's feeling on this morning. I know everybody was feeling it last night, man. Feeling it. Cat says Coach says Cat missed free throws, though. Yeah, man, that was tough, man. That was tough. Him and Brunson missed key free throws. Yeah, man, I can't see. That's the thing, man. That was tough. That's the ball game, Coach. That's the ball game. Missed free throws like that, that's what happens. And I thought that, that was pretty much the ball game, man. Him going 3 for 5, beating Brunson, and then Cat going 6 for 12, man. Like, that can't happen. Your top dog's got to be able to knock it down, man. Outlaw says, Mikal Bridges, I don't know if he's tired of playing a lot of minutes or he's just not playing good defensively at all right now. Yeah, man, he's not the best defensively, right now. But I think he's kind of getting challenged because he's going against top dogs every night. And so he's having a tough time with that. But he's also having good moments also. Like, I look at it both ways, guys. I'm not looking at it like he's just playing terrible. Like, I don't look at it that way. Is he playing like out of his mind, like OG Anunoby's like playing exceptional right now? No. But is he playing like, is he stinking and just, no, I don't think that neither. I think he's playing well, man. I think he's playing well. Outlaw says you can't put yourself in that situation. Agreed. Slim Boggs said the refs hate NYC. Yeah, man. I just didn't like that call in that moment. Not saying that I'm not saying that you can't call that. I just don't like that call in that moment, man. It's too big of a game. Like, it was a big comeback for the Knicks. You're gonna call that? That's like a bang bang play. Like, that's you gotta let that rock, man. And this guy's kicking and flaring his legs out like it's too much. Coach says bad call, but why are you even doing that? Agreed. He should have been smart about that, man. And Josh Hart knows it because he said it. You know what I mean? He said it when they interviewed him, man. So he knows. Outlaw says, but Josh Hart, up until that point, started turning over the ball and doing a lot of stuff that he shouldn't be doing. Yeah, he was kind of struggling towards, like, he started getting tired. You could see it, right? Because he was part of that push to kind of get us back. And I thought that, he started kind of making some mistakes towards the end, Outlaw. That's a good point. Coach says, I think he touched his back with that foul, right? But Coach, man, I still think, man, you still don't call that, though, Coach. Outlaw says, don't get me wrong, Josh Hart is a great player, but he was definitely off his game a bit. Yeah, absolutely. Not just him, Outlaw. I thought the whole team, until Cat started picking it up, right? The whole team just didn't have it. Slim Boggs said the refs shouldn't decide the game. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't at all. They shouldn't at all. Coach's full rotation, I don't think he would have been on the floor. Good point. Good point. Not that it mattered, but for the future reference, Tom knows who to put in. Yeah, listen, he's kind of getting his rhythm, right, with as far as rotations go. So hopefully it can kind of look more solid. I love campaigning, man. I love campaigning what he brings. Of course, also we didn't have a challenge because Deuce had us wasted on the obvious. Yeah. You know, I'm not even going to say it was Deuce, man. That's for the coaches in the back. That's their job. Man. They got to pay attention. They got to tell Tibbs, no. And then also, too, guys, right? In that moment, right? In that part of the game, is it worth a challenge in that moment? I don't think it's worth a challenge. Why would you challenge? Who cares? You save your challenges for when it really matters in the game. I think you save your challenges for that. Coaches, players have to be real in those situations, not cause your team a timeout and a challenge. Agreed. Totally agree with that, Coach. Totally agree with that. Brooklyn Knicks fan says Deuce is the fourth option, not Mikal. No, man, I gotta disagree with you, man. I think Mikal is still the guy, man. Brooklyn Knicks fan says, we brought Mikal in for defense. He's getting cooked. He's worthless on this team. I don't know if he's worthless, man. Yes, he's struggling defensively. I'm not going to sit in. I hope he's not trying to sit here and say he's exceptional, right? He's a defensive stalwart right now. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it's going to be tough because every night he's guarding the top dogs. And yes, he's brought in for defense, but you can't say we bring him in for defense, but don't shoot your jump shot. He's here for both. So trust and believe. He's not really. I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think he's just going full like all out on defense, like a defensive stopper. I don't think he's doing that because he's maintaining his energy because you're going to still need him knock down corner jump shots and still be somewhat of a good player offensively. That's really hard to do when you're just known to be the defensive stopper. The defensive stoppers, those guys really, they're not good offensively. They can knock down jumpers here and there, but they know they're only here strictly for defense. I think with him, he's here for a little bit of both. Jay Supreme said Mikal is going to be fine, man. He's just trying to figure it out. Agreed. I feel the same way. Jay Supreme says, I'm not talking about defense. I'm talking about offense. Figuring out when to be aggressive and taking shots. Brooklyn Nets fan said, we need Mikal to defend. That's his game. And he's not doing a good job. He's a waste of the picks. I don't think we just brought him here to defend, right? Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have spent all those picks on him, right? So he was here to do both. And doing both takes a lot of energy from you, man. So I think the defense will come around. But offensively, you got to love what he's doing too. So, it's a little bit of both, man. Like I said, the only elite guys that were able to do both elite are like on a Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean? You're speaking of MJ. You're speaking of Bean Bryant, right? You're speaking of the best, right? These guys were able to be elite on both ends of the court. Those guys are hard to find, man. Those guys don't grow on trees. So we're asking Mikal to be elite on both ends. Some nights you're going to have good and average and bad and average. It's going to be like that. But he's so good of a player, man. You kind of live with it. New Lord said Tibbs needs to play his rookies like a smart coach, running out of guys into the ground like, yeah, man. Agreed. Khalid Pasha, man. I appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live on this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew. Yeah, man, we talked New Lord. We talked about this with Tibbs, man, and him with his rotations, right? We talked about that. And I think he's kind of getting better with that because what did he play last night? He played 9 players. All together, he played 9. So he's trying to get better with that. And I thought Cam playing brought a lot of energy. I thought Sims was decent tonight. But once again, right, it's kind of hard to gauge those guys because everybody played bad, man. For three and a half quarters, everybody played bad. Tibbs needs to stick a rookie into a rotation. We need fresh young legs on the court ready to help us. Agreed. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying. I would definitely love Akapoya to get more time and Dadier. I think that needs to happen. But honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think Tibbs is baiting his time, man, waiting for Precious to come back and Shamet and those guys. I think that's what he's doing. Of course, he knows when Mitch is coming back, but I think that's what he's waiting for. New Lord, we gave up 5 picks for him. No excuse. I want to hear from him. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, look. I understand. I understand what people are saying. And there's some validity to that. But at the same time, it's not on him. Like, he's doing the best he can. And I think what he's doing is good. His productivity is good. He's scoring when he should score in moments of the game. But defensively, he's playing against the top dogs, man. He's not guarding just bums on the wing. He's guarding the top guys. Those guys are hard to stop, man. Man, I think that's why he's having a hard time defensively. But I think offensively, he's been solid. Khalid Pasha said, it's the eye test with Bridges. New Law says, OG's doing both. Mikal needs to be better offensively like he did in with Phoenix. I think he's doing good offensively, New Lord. I think it's the defense that people got issues with, man. People want him to come here and just play defense. They don't really want him to give the offensive production, right? So it's a balancing act here, right? So it's tough. It's tough. OG's doing, but yeah, OG's different though, man. OG's different. OG is different. He's getting 200 plus million. I did a short on it, New Lord. Check it out. There's a reason why he's getting what he's getting. There's nobody like him in the league, man. Nobody. So he's a different breed. Clip Pastor says, I don't think anybody wants Bridges to be Kobe, but he should be given some kind of resistance. If you actually watch the game, he's getting burned to the rim every play, and he's playing super soft. You know what it is, Khalid? I don't think he's getting burned to the rim. Let me say this. Yes, he is getting burned to the rim. Like, you're right. I'm not trying to diminish that. What I'm trying to get everybody to see is that you got to think who he's playing against. He's guarding the elite guys. Elite. And I don't think he's an elite defender. I think he's a good defender and a good offensive player. But to the elites, it's going to be hard to stop those guys. Very hard. So, yeah, he's getting cooked by Halliburton. And if I'm correct, didn't he lock down Halliburton in the Garden opening night? I know because I was there. I was in the building. He locked him down. Halliburton didn't score no points. So once again, you're going to have good nights, man, with him defensively. But when you're going against top dogs night in and night out, it is tough in this league, man. It is tough in this league to defend those guys and to shut them down. It really, really is. And so I think that's what's happening. And I don't think he's playing soft. I think in some ways, in some aspects of the game, that he's kind of conserving energy. Because remember, you still want him to knock down shots in the corner. You still want him to kind of be that offensive threat from the corner when he gets his opportunities, right? So I sense that with him too. So he's not going full-fledged defensively because he understands that I got to manage my energy. Because to him, he's not there just to be a defensive stopper. He's there to stop defensively as well, but also too to produce on the offensive end. It takes a lot of energy for both. Most guys who are good scorers are not good defensively. They're average defensively because they exert so much of their energy on the offensive end, right? So hence Brunson, all the elite guys who are elite scorers, they're average defensively. Oh, okay. The only people who get that, like I said, we're talking about the elite guys who are going to be Hall of Famers. We're talking about, of course, MJ, Kobe, right? We're talking about Bean, Kawhi Leonard, right? Those guys are in a different league because they can do both. It's very, very hard to do both in this league with the players that you're going against every night. Khalid says Bridges is playing with no velocity on the defensive end. These guys are getting the easiest shots on them. Yeah, man, it's tough, man. It's tough when you're playing against these elite guys, man. And they're making valid points. I'm not dismissing your points because it's valid, but I'm trying to tell you why that's happening, why it is. Because I'm telling you, if he gives all effort, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, If he gives all effort defensively and he's looking like trash on the offensive end, people are going to be talking about that too. They're going to say, oh, he can't even knock down a shot. He can't even make a layup. He can't even do this. He's not even cutting hard. He's not this. That's because he's exerting all his energy like defensively. So offensively, it's going to take a hit. And people say they're okay with that. They're not telling the truth. They're not, because they're going to say, oh, he stinks. And you know what they're going to want to do? They're going to want to bring Deuce in. Bring Deuce. Or to your point, or a lot of people's point, we should have never made that deal. It's tough, man. It's tough. He's never going to really be able to live up to this. Never. Because everyone's going to feel like, yo, you gave up all these picks for this? That's what people are going to be saying. And it wasn't so much the Knicks wanted to give up those picks. It's just Brooklyn fleeced them, man. They fleeced them because they knew they really wanted them. New Lord says, I meant Mikal needs to play better defense. Now, I got you. I know what you meant, sir. I got you. I don't know why he's playing soft. It's hurting my eyes. Yeah, listen, man, it's tough, man. It's tough, but I don't think he's playing soft, man. I think he's trying to conserve energy. I think that's what's happening. And I think that's kind of like what we're seeing, man. So you're saying to yourself, yo, why is he getting cooked? Like, why is that happening? I think that's what's happening. And yes, he's got to do better on that end of on that side of the ball. He does. But I think it's an adjustment period for him. Because offensively, he can do a lot of special things, man. And so you got to be able to conserve your energy for both. You can't give all, and then you don't have anything on the other side of the court, man. So once again, it's just a balancing act. In certain spots of the game, where can you decide to turn it on or turn it off? And I think he's trying to figure that out defensively as well. On top of going against the top guys. You know? But listen, guys, look, that's my show, right? Listen, tough loss last night, but it's okay. I love the grit that we had and we fought back, but let's try to get it back tomorrow night against them clowns from over the river and BK, right? Let's get it back, then get it back again Sunday and win 2 in a row. Let's knock off 2 in a row. All right, but listen, I'll be going live tomorrow after the game, so please come through and check it out. All right, but once again, I'm LV Live. Appreciate everybody coming through. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. All right. Also, too, if you're watching this on replay, right, please subscribe to the channel. Please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right. But I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me. Hope you all subscribe. And I appreciate you guys. I truly do, man. All right. That's my show, and I'm LV Live, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.